Typically, New Wembley, the Arch rather than the Towers. So, which side, either club or international, has won the most times under the Wembley Arch, i.e. at the new Wembley Stadium?
That's a very interesting question. I'm going to say Hull FC.
No. Hull FC have won twice?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is it Warrington?
It's Warrington. Warrington are 4 from 6 at the new Wembley.
Of course.
Not quite as impressive as the New Zealand and Australia's 2 out of 2 100% records that they have. But, you know. Warrington won in 2009, 2010, 2012 and 2019, but of course also lost there in 2016 and 2018.
Of course.
But yeah, the Wire lead the way. Talking of one of those New Zealand wins, Kevin Sinfield. Because it happened just before this podcast happened, and probably this podcast wouldn't have started if it wasn't for the buzz I felt after the 2013 World Cup. That really pushed me to take the leap from writing the odd blog article to talking every week. Or recording me talk every week about it, should I say. It's probably been the thing we've mentioned the most, that Kevin Sinfield threw away that semi-final in 2013. But anyway, Kevin Sinfield has left Leeds just as his son signs pro terms with the Rhinos. Sticking to the Wembley theme, what was Sinfield Senior's record at the new National Stadium? Just so you know, he played 7 times there, 5 times for Leeds and twice for England. But how many times did he win?
It wasn't 7.
Just kick it dead.
I'm going to say one.
Organised defensive line, then there wouldn't be a high shot. They wouldn't have got up the field. You wouldn't have missed that tackle. Just kick it dead.
I'm going to say he's won twice.
You bang on, yeah. He's won twice and lost 5 times. He won with Leeds in 2014 and 2015. That followed 5 successive defeats before that, 3 with Leeds and 2 with England. Finally, which St Helens star scored the first ever try at New Wembley Stadium in the 2007 Challenge Cup final? As a clue, in total he's played in 6 games at Wembley, winning 3, all of those with Saints, and losing 3, 2 with England, 1 with Saints. And I would say we've probably spoken more about his second Wembley try than his first Wembley try on this show.
See, I was there in 2007. I went to that first one.
I wasn't. I was still fuming that they gave the penalty at the scrum that Wigan legitimately pushed and won the ball back from, but instead gave a penalty that Stacey Jones then scored to mean the game was out of reach.
If this podcast is nothing else, it allows us to air our grievances over a long period of time. Oh, man. I'm
over it. I'm totally over it.
Yeah, you sound completely over
Just
it.
Kick it dead!
I'm going to go James Roby.
It is, yeah. And of course, recently we've spoken a lot about his second ever try at Wembley.
Yes.
Which was scored this year. But his first was on the 33rd minute of, I think, from my research earlier.
But I'm assuming that was actually a try and definitely wasn't a try because Grace was in touch. I mean, we're just confirming that.
Yeah, it was. It was the one where he sort of... if a defender could have got near to him, they might have been able to force a double movement out of the situation or something, but wouldn't they? But I think it was one of his old classic scoots.
Yes. When he was a younger man with a lot more hair.
Yes. Well, some.
Yeah.
Some hair. Those were the days. I had hair back in 2007 as well.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
It's things like penalties being given at scrums when it's a legitimate push that makes you lose it, though, I think.
Yeah, partially. Amongst lots of other things.
Do you know what? I don't remember. Maybe because it was the first one at New Wembley, so lots of neutral fans went. So that's why there wasn't quite the same talk about ticket issues with Catalans being there, because there was still 80,000 there, weren't there?
Yeah, I mean, I remember everybody around me who was a neutral was supporting Catalan. Some of them wearing onions and berets, some of them not. Yeah, it was very...
What, they were Warrington fans?
It was very... yeah, it was very much Saints fans versus the rest of the Rugby League public.
Yeah.
In that game. But yeah, obviously it was first game there back, and it was all very new and exciting. So I'm sure that had an impact on fan numbers as well. Hot day that day as well. Always a hot day at Wembley. Always feels like it anyway.
You weren't there in 2013, were you?
No.
That rain was getting in everywhere that day. saying that, it was still quite muggy. It wasn't a cold day, but it was a wet day.
It was moist.
Oh no, damp. It was, it was that next level along. But I don't need to worry about any against the head of the scrum and all that business. All I have to think about is Josh Charnley's cover tackle. What an effort. I'm back. Oh, but then Josh Charnley's micro penis. Oh, shit. Rugby League. It's a roller coaster.
You really didn't need to bring that image into our head. That's classic wrap up. That's classic wrap up.
That is. Well, I know you won't be recommending any chipolatas in your any other business, Alan. But what have you got for us this week?
I was struggling a little bit because I have been writing essays and doing not much else in the last week. The one thing I've been doing when I've had or taken breaks is I've been playing a mobile game. And it's the cousin of something I think I might have recommended before. The new one is called Mini Motorways. It's a new version of a game that was called Mini Metro, which is where you built your own subway system. Mini Motorways is where you build your own road network. So, yeah, it's a very diverging...
It sounds a bit dull.
No, it's good. It's very good for taking you out of your head for 10, 15 minutes, and you just think about logic and linking things together. And yeah, it's very good when you don't want to think about writing an essay for 10, 15 minutes. It's got very plinky plonky music, very therapeutic, just takes you away from everything for a bit, as all good mobile games do. So yeah, Mini Motorways, that's my recommendation, because that's all I've been doing other than sleeping, eating, writing essays.
I've got something that probably sounds a bit boring, but actually I enjoyed. On our way back from the London, we went to a country house called Waddesdon Manor, and near Aylesbury. And you know what? This is going to sound incredibly boring and like I'm an old person or something that I don't know. But there was some amazing chandeliers.
No, you win.
Like incredible chandeliers.
Hang on. Did you look at them and manage not to think about the Fools and Horses episode? Because I can't look at a chandelier without thinking about that episode. You just can't.
Well, we were trying to weigh up whether any of them, from ceiling to bottom of chandelier, would fit inside our house.
As in, just get through the door, you mean?
No, as in, like, be able to hang from our ceiling and be above our floor.
Right.
Basically, they were all taller than any room in our house. And that's without from the bottom of the chandelier to the floor. But yeah, that was really cool. And the other thing about it, and when we were going there, like, there was I'm trying to remember now the name of the person. Famous family who own everything, but they're not the Queen.
Duke of Westminster.
No, they're not. They're not royalty. They just buy access to royalty. That sort of family. The Rothschilds, right?
Oh, right. Okay.
So, and when I read that on the thing, on the ad, when I was buying the tickets, it says like a Rothschild house, and I was thinking, why do I recognise that name? And there was something drawing me to it. So anyway, we went, and Emma was the same, and we couldn't quite place it. And when we got there, they gave us a little map of the side of the grounds to walk around, and right down in the bottom corner where no one would normally look on the map, it said Flint House, and we were like, that's why we know about this place, because Flint House is a new build house, but it's won tons of architecture awards. It was House of the Year on that program, loads of stuff like that, and it's kind of, I don't know, a mile or so through the fields away from the big old posh country house. It's this little eco new build house that the whatever he is of Rothschild, the whatever title those people probably have. Yeah, so that was cool to go and see that. That was really exciting part of it too, which was kind of a bit unexpected, but yeah. So if you're into architecture, old and new, it's got a bit for you. Really good playground as well. I didn't go on it because I'm like an adult.
But Emma did, obviously.
And I was too busy queuing for ice cream. Did I mention I'm an adult? But yeah, the playground looked really cool if people went with kids. So there you go.
I'm just looking at the house on Emma's Instagram actually, and it looks like it looks like a staircase actually. When you look at it from a distance, it looks like a staircase.
Oh, Flint House, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it does. Yeah.
It looks like it's a staircase going nowhere. Is how I would describe it.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, I think it was an episode of Grand Designs before it was.
Oh, of course.
Anything else as well, but yeah, and Waddesdon Manor, and with the weather as it was on Wednesday as well, it felt like you could have been in sort of northern France. It really has that sort of chateau feel to it.
Yes.
In its design and its layout and stuff. So yeah.
Yes, it does have a look of the kind of thing that they fly over 17 times during each stage of the Tour de France and say it's the Chateau de blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
So I suppose that's mine.
I don't think that was as bad as you might have worried.
Who's doing the show next Tuesday?
Oh, I don't know. Not me.
No. I think. Well, we'll have to speak to Sarah and David because it's not you, and Tim's on his honeymoon.
So, or Rob gets called from the suspension again. we will see.
We will see. I'm guessing lighter on news than this has been, but hopefully plenty of fan reviews on the games. But make sure you follow us on at Super League Pod on Twitter and Instagram, or facebook.com/Super League Pod. You can email us superleaguepod@gmail.com. Of course, you can check out the blog post at superleaguepod.com. Search for the show on Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podcast Addict, Stitcher, Spotify, Overcast, or anywhere else you normally find your podcasts. We're on YouTube too. There was one other thing I wanted to talk about. whilst just before we started recording, I saw the thing that said about Ben Thaler is going to do his 400th Super League game
Yes.
this week.
Yes, I saw that.